Hey guys, let's start this video off by subscribing and turning the notifications on for this channel. It will notify you directly, letting you know I posted a new video. That way you never miss an update. Welcome to the family. Now let's get into this video.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Miss Brooklyn. Welcome back to my channel, Miss Brooklyn's Journey. So I have a different video for you guys. Oh my gosh. I normally do not do story time here on YouTube because I do my story time on Snapchat and or Periscope. But I decided I'm gonna do a story time here because I feel like this story time you guys that are not following me on my social media networks should know about and should hear, because I have something important to say and a message to say behind this story time, which I feel is imperative. Okay, so let me get this gum out my mouth before somebody be like, oh my god, I can't watch this video, you're chewing gum. Here you go. Okay? People be coming for you. They'll come for you if your elbows is ashy. Like, people come for you. Anyway, so like I was saying, this story time video is, it's very personal to me because I never said it out loud. I didn't tell anyone. No one knows. For the first time today since I've been with Jay, I actually told him this story. And the thing is, he knew of it a little bit, because it kind of sort of involves him, not really. He only knew minor details. He did not know everything. The only reason why I've never told this story is because I was embarrassed. I am no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer embarrassed. But apparently I have some subscribers that are going through the same thing, because I have received emails, well, about 2 emails, and I also seen it down my comment section in videos, this topic. So as you guys know from the title, I'm talking about the time where a guy was ashamed to date me in public but wanted to date me behind doors. Basically, he didn't want to be seen in public with me or anyone knowing he was dating me, but he was dating me behind closed doors. Obviously, this is prior to my weight loss journey, and I met him around the same time I met Jay, but like around 3 months prior to meeting Jay, I met him, and I basically was talking to him or dating him and talking to Jay at the same time. But at the time, Jay and I were just friends, getting to know each other. That was it. There was nothing, like, we weren't a couple. For the sake of the people in the story, well, except one, look, I'm gonna put my homeboy on blast, Derek. Alright, I'm putting my homeboy Derek on blast. He's the only name that I'm gonna put out there. And the guy that I'm talking about, his name starts with a D also, but I'm just gonna call him Mr. D, since that's what I called him anyway. Sometimes flirting wise I would call him Mr. D, but that's all I'm gonna put out there. Anyway, my friend Derek, he is one of my good friends. He's one of my homeboys. He like my bro. He's like the bro. We have a weird, crazy relationship. We 100 with each other, and we love each other. Derek sometimes would call me and request the craziest things of me, and I actually would do it. Like a dummy, I would do it. So, okay, one day, Derek called me. It wasn't a full time, and it was like around 4 in the afternoon or whatever. He called me, and he was like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. I just got home from school. I was in college, of course. He was like, he told me he just woke up, and he asked me, can I bring him breakfast? We lived not too far from each other. I live in one part of Brooklyn, he lived in another, but it wasn't too far. It was like around, like, if I drove there or took a cab there, it took about 15 minutes to get to his crib. If I took the bus, it was about a 25-minute bus ride, give or take, if New York Transit want to be on time. He asked me to bring him breakfast. I didn't get him no damn breakfast. He gonna talk about go to the corner store. Alright, he called me up. He was like, yo, go to the corner store, give me a bacon, egg, and cheese, extra cheese, egg whites only, toasted. I'm like, yo, you want me to leave my crib, take a cab or a bus, because I wasn't driving at the time, and go to your corner store, go to your deli and get you a breakfast sandwich? He was like, yeah, I'll pay your cab. Yo, my man, you could just walk out your building, go around that corner and get your food. He told me, I don't feel like getting out of bed. Oh my gosh. Alright, whatever. So his dumbass, I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna bring him food, I'm gonna bring him food. I got him some Caribbean food, got him some oxtails, right? So I go over there, I bring to his spot, and he had a nice little loft. It wasn't a loft, but he had a nice apartment. It was a bachelor's crib, duh. And when I walked in, it was like 4 men there. And I was like, wait, hold up. You got company? He was like, no, they just came. You took me long to come. And he introduced me to his peoples. And he had this like big screen TV on this brick wall and surround sound, you know, typical male pad and he had two big flat screen computers. So two of the dudes was on the computers and they was looking at Beats. And then the other two, they were watching, I forgot what movie was playing, but they were just on the couch chilling. Mr. D, okay? Mr. D asked my homeboy Derek if he and I were a couple. He was like, yo, D, the crazy thing, his exact line was like, yo, D, that's you? And Derek was like, who, huh? Nah, get the fuck out of here. Nope. And I was like, oh, gee, F you too, Derek. I don't want your, ew, you're not even my type. So then Mr. D asked me, so what's your type? Without even thinking or really looking at him, I was just like, tall, dark, and handsome. And he was like, you just described me. And then one of the other guys in the background was like, and me. And I was like, well, I mean, exterior, but interior is totally different. And he was like, okay, so for the rest of the day, we was just shooting the shit. They started playing video games. I was on a computer. I don't even really remember what we were doing really, but we were just all chilling, cracking jokes, talking. And Mr. D didn't really say anything to me to lead me on that he was interested in me. But when I was getting ready to go, Derek was like, you going home? And I was like, yeah. I'm gonna call a cab, right? And I go downstairs. I'm like, all right, everybody, no, I'm lying. Oh, why am I lying? They were getting ready to leave. So I was gonna leave too. So when we was downstairs, when I walked downstairs, I called the cab. I was calling the cab to take me home. And he was like, where you live? And I told him where I lived. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll take you home. He was like, do you want to ride? And I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me keep my little coins. All right, yeah, you can take me home. And he turned around. He was like, yo, D, I'm going to be back. I'm going to take her home. This is him talking to Derek. He calls Derek D, ironically. So he's like, yo, Derek, I'm going to be back. I'm going to take her home real quick. And he was like, nah. He was like, your fat ass need to walk anyway. And I'm like, fuck you, Derek. Suck my you know what, right? This is what again, this was our relationship. So they were laughing. He was like, nah, yo, let her get on the bus. She need to walk. And I'm like, yo, I can't stand you. I hate you, Derek. You get on my nerves. I hate you. And I still do, Derek. In case he sees this video, I still hate your ass, okay? Anyway, so okay, I get in the car with him. I told him where I lived. And, you know, and he was like, all right, I'll take you home. So in the car ride, he was like, you got a phone? And I was like, yeah. At the time, I had the Palm Trio. That was the phone I was popping. I pulled it out, and he was like, okay, big boy stuff. And he was like, can I see? And then he took the phone from me, and he put his number in my phone, and he called his phone. And he was like, yeah, add me. He was like, yo, add me. We can link up sometime. And I was just like, okay, cool. Right? I didn't think nothing of it. It was casual talk on the ride back. Nothing crazy. And I went home about 3 days later. Typical dude shit. Wait 3 days to call a chick. 3 days later, he calls me. And he's like, yo, what's up? What you doing? I know it was a Sunday, and I told him, I think I lied to him about church. I told him something I was in church. I lied. Ooh, I'm a heathen. I told you that was my heathen days, honey. I was a hot, trotty, thotty. Anyway, so he was like, you free? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you want to hang out? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So I lied to my mother and told my mother I was going by my bestie house. Hey, Daph. She doesn't even know the story. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Anyway, I lied to my mother, told my mother I was going by my bestie house. He came and picked me up, hopped in the car. He drove a Beamer. He was in a BMW. Hopped in the car, and, you know, again, small talk. We was getting to know each other, just talking, whatever. I'm thinking he's taking me out, right? So we hopped on a belt, headed to the Verrazano. Next thing I know, we crossing that Verrazano bridge, headed to New Jersey. I'm like, yo, my dude, where you taking me? Like, yo, where you going? Like, New Jersey is the next state over, if y'all don't know. Okay, it's the next state over. So, you know, tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Jersey right there, like minutes away. So he takes me to New Jersey, and I'm like, yo, my mans, where we going? Why we in Jersey? I'm in a whole nother state. And he's like, I live out here. And I'm like, oh, you do? And he's like, yeah, I live in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, okay. So we pull up to this like townhouse in Jersey, which is like a townhouse. It was really a loft, really though. So I go in, I'm like, yo, this is really nice. It was so nice, spacious, decked out, nice, and it looked like a bachelor's pad. Like he had a pool table, all that, like a nice fireplace, leather sofa, typical big screen surround sound, like typical male pad. Like it was so typical. It's not even funny. In his crib, he puts the fireplace on. He pours some wine, soft R&B in the background. I think it was playing a Vine. Somebody was playing in the background. I'm like, what type of shit is it? Mind you, I'm just like, ooh, I'm young. I'm not, you know, like, ooh, For me, this was so grown. And he sat down and he gave me a glass of wine, and I was like, oh, I don't drink. And he was like, oh, you don't drink wine? You want something else? And I was like, no, I don't drink, period. So we start talking, get to know each other, just going conversation after conversation. Then I asked him what he did, and his exact words were, I'm kind of scared to tell you, but I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you everything on the table, no holds bar. My lifestyle is not the type of lifestyle people approve of. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what you mean your lifestyle? I hear the word lifestyle and I'm just like, yo, hold up, you gay? And he was like, no, I'm not gay. I'm like, you bisexual? And he was like, no, I'm not bisexual. He was laughing. He was like, no, I'm 100% heterosexual. I'm straight. It has nothing to do with that. And I'm like, okay, so what do you mean your lifestyle? Oh, you a drug dealer. It's alright, I dated drug dealers before. It's nothing. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not like I told him it's nothing, but I'm not one of them wifey types that'll hold you down. No, I'm singing like a canary, like facts. It was like, he started laughing. He was like, oh, so you've been around many drug dealers. And he looked at me a certain type of way. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that later. Alright. Y'all will find out why that makes sense. He was like, no, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm far from a drug dealer. And I'm like, alright, so what do you do? He tells me he's a stripper. And he goes, I'm stripping to pay my way through medical school. I'm just like, really? You're stripping to pay your way through medical school? He was like, yeah. I'm like, why don't you bartend or do something else? He was like, yo, nothing pays a bill like shaking your ass. And I was like, okay, whatever, you're a stripper. Okay, fine. That was the first day we were actually in each other's presence, spent time talking to each other. Everything went smooth. He never tried to make a pass at me. He was a total gentleman. I go home. The next week he calls me every week during a certain time, and we would spend a couple of hours on the phone talking, but I only saw him on the weekends. This went on for about 2 months. 2 months. I saw him every single weekend, but spoke to him every single day. And every weekend, the routine was the same. He would come pick me up, and I would go to his house and spend time with him in his house. We never went anywhere. Ever. The weekend when he picked me up, I asked him, I was like, yo, why we don't ever go anywhere? Like, we should go somewhere. We should go hang out. And he was, you know, of course he was driving. He was like, all right, we'll do something next weekend. And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, of course we're sitting there talking, and he starts telling me that he really likes me and that he actually has feelings for me, and he's very attracted to me. He's attracted to my size, me, everything. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought we were just friends because he never took me anywhere. We just go to his house, have some candlelight dinners, talk, and chill, probably watch a movie. We'd be on the couch, and if we're on the couch, like, I would probably lean into him at the very most. Nothing that ever happened. And that day he told me how he felt about me. Okay, so alright, boom. So after he told me, he was like, I have something to tell you. I'm like, what? He was like, I lied to you. And I was like, you lied to me? And he was like, yeah, and I want to be honest with you. I lied to you about what I do. And I was like, oh gosh, so you're not a stripper? And he laughed and he was like, no, I'm not a stripper. It's something else. And I was like, something else? And I was like, and then again I was like, are you gay? And he was like, no, I'm not gay. I'm very much into you. Trust me. I'm into women like you. That was his line. And then he was like, I'm not a stripper, but I'm something else. And I was like, what are you? He was like, I'm a cop. I was like, you a cop? You're not a cop. He was like, I actually am. And he pulled out his badge, his gun, all that. He was like, I'm actually a narc. I'm a cop in the narcotics division. I'm undercover in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're a cop. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. He was telling me, you know, how family oriented he is. And that night, he was just telling me, just, you know, basically how he's attracted to plus size women. He's attracted to them. Watching a big girl eat was a turn on. I basically was this man's fetish. He basically was sexually and physically attracted to me beyond, like, I don't know what. And his attraction to me was crazy because, like, he's what you call, I think they're called a feeder or something like that. At the time, I didn't know about this stuff. I was never, like, I've had many relationships before and boyfriends or whatever. Of course, I'm young, but no one was ever ashamed of me But for him, this man, I was his secret fetish. I was his secret dolly that he took out to play with when he wanted to, when no one's watching. Okay, I mean, after he told me that, you know, like, I'm his fetish and stuff like that, he liked me, he's attracted to me and stuff like that, I mean, I kind of, at first I was like, I was smiling like, oh my gosh, I'm your fetish. Like, for me, it was a little flattering, because it's like, oh, am I in your dreams? Yes. Like, it was a little flattering, I'm not gonna lie. Like, damn, like, okay, you like, oh, I turn you on like that? I'm sexy to you like that? What? Now it's 3 months in, about 3 months and some weeks in. I'm dating this guy. I had a conversation with him. It was one of the weekends where he was picking me up, and I was annoyed. I wanted to go out. I wanted to do stuff, and I was like, why don't you ever take me outside? Why don't we ever go out? I was basically putting 2 and 2 together on my own. From him telling me about the fetish, him telling me about what he thinks of me, how much he's attracted to me, and all this fantasy stuff, but it doesn't go beyond the bedroom. And I was putting 2 and 2 together, and I asked him, are you ashamed of me? And he basically told me yes, in not so many words. He basically told me that people won't look at him crazy if he's seen with a big woman. Yeah. Yep, he basically told me that. And I remember at that point I started looking at myself differently. I started looking at myself, prior to that point, I never considered myself morbidly obese or obese. Never. I just thought I was fat and I looked good. Like, damn, I'm fat and not, but look at me, honey, I'm still big. That was just me. And mind you, I wasn't at my highest weight at that time. I was not at my highest weight. I remember that weekend, I remember going home and looking at myself and seeing a morbidly obese person stare back at me. And immediately something inside of me changed. I didn't walk outside with my head held high anymore. I didn't walk outside confident anymore. I basically wore the insecurity that he placed on me. It was my new identification. It was my ID now. And I didn't look up when I was out. I didn't look at people directly, make eye contact. And this continued for years. Like, it continued. Like, till this day, sometimes I'm still that girl. But I forgot to mention, by 3 months of getting to know this guy and dating this guy, we never solidified anything. We never put a title but defined a relationship. We were just dating and getting to know each other. He was not my boyfriend. At that point, I met Jay, and things, the way I felt towards Jay emotionally, I did not feel towards Mr. D. And it was becoming obviously painful that I was in a relationship or with, you know, I basically was with someone that didn't want to be seen with me in public. I didn't leave. I actually just continued to see this man and accept that fact that I wasn't good enough for him to introduce me to friends, family, or him taking me out in public and be seen with me. I was not good enough. I accepted the fact that I was good enough for behind closed doors, and that was it. But I don't know, God is so good. Let me tell you, God is so good, because God basically told me that he was not for me and I deserved so much better. And he gave me someone so much better. I basically told Mr. D that I know better, but I didn't believe better. I let him fool me into believing that I didn't deserve better. Just because I'm fat does not mean I don't deserve love like a normal relationship, like normal people do. First of all, you're using and abusing me, and that was my fault. I let that happen. I let that happen, and I took full responsibility, because no one can make you do what you do not want to do. And I fully take responsibility for allowing this man to treat me that way. My mom always told me, you teach a man how to treat you, and I allowed it. That made me take responsibility, and I let him know, like, yo, I deserve better, and I really do think I found better. Like, so I cut all ties with him, and decided that I was gonna be with Jay. And yeah, 7 years later, he and I together. Crazy as it seems, 7 years later, Jay basically not only took the time to undo the damage that this man have done to me, but whatever damage that has been done previously, whether it's from friends, family, loved ones, he basically took the time to undo and make me see that I need to hold my head up high and be confident in who I am. So I say that to say this to people saying that they're in a relationship with someone that does not want to be seen in public with them. Get the fuck out of that relationship. You need to bounce. I don't care how much love you think you want. I don't care how much you think you want a man in your life or a woman in your life. It does not matter. If they cannot love you in public, they do not deserve to love you behind closed doors. Point blank and the period. Get the F out. Chuck your deuces and say bye, because you deserve more. No one should treat you like you are not worthy of being treated like a king or a queen. And that's what I had to learn. I basically lost my happiness and my esteem that I had, and he basically made me see myself as something else. It was painful, and that's when I began on a spiral of low self-esteem because of how I allowed him to do that to me. Telling me constantly, we can't go out. We can't be seen together. I can't be seen with you. I never told this to anyone because I was ashamed. And that's the crazy thing is, I shouldn't be the one that's ashamed. He should, to treat someone like that. But guess what? I was ashamed, but I'm not ashamed anymore. And I'm telling you, for the people writing to me and telling me that their boyfriends don't want them in public, their boyfriends treat them a certain type of way because they're fat, that is not your man. Or even if you're a woman, I don't care who you dating, if you're dating a what, him, it, shim, it don't matter. They treat you that way, they need to go. You will find who's for you, and who's for you will be for you no matter what. I mean, so yeah, like, I know that I deserve better. I know that I am better. Fat, small, tall, skinny, black, white, gay, straight. You deserve to be treated like a human being. You deserve to be treated with love. You deserve to be treated like a king or a queen. It does not matter. You don't let anyone treat you otherwise because of whatever differences you may have. And yeah, I just wanted to share that because of the comments that I get and of the email that I received, and it just weighed heavily. I think it's time that I talked about it and say it happened to me. Like, you're not alone, it happened to me. And there are days where I forget that I deserve better, and I look at me and I hate me. But overall, prayer works, confidence works, self-love is the best love you can give yourself. So whether if it's not your significant other, your friends, or your family, self-love. And don't forget, like, just don't forget, self-love heals all. Like, and prayer works. I'm a firm believer in God, and I believe in his strength. I believe in his love and his glory and his kindness. So yep, I just wanted to come and share my story, something that has haunted me and pained me for a while. And that was my story time of the time that he was ashamed taking me out in public because I was too fat. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, go ahead and share it. You don't know what people's going through. Share this video. Give this video a big thumbs up for me. Like this video. And if you want more story time, you got to follow me on Periscope or Snapchat, because that's where it's going to be. This was the one exception. I don't know. My story time's on YouTube. No. She don't do that. But Periscope, Snapchat, links are somewhere on the screen or down below in the description box. Follow me. I love you all. Happy holidays, guys. Enjoy your holidays. Have a safe one. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you in the New Year's. Bye.